Happy Friday, AC, and welcome back to the realest of realist news stations in the entire United States. I'm Caitlin Brightbill here with Dom McMillan. Today, we will actually hear from Dom, who was at the farm show this past week with FFA.
That we will. We'll also find out from James Lingle how the Electoral College works in light of Donald Trump's historical presidential win. But let's find out what really happened when I recently went to the farm show.
Since 1916, the Harrisburg Farm Show Complex is home to the largest agricultural exposition in the nation. Throughout 11 buildings and 3 arenas, the exposition has more than 24 acres under roof. Topping 6,000 animals, over 300 commercial exhibits, and more than 13,000 competitive exhibits, and runs every year from January 7th to the 14th. Every year since 2009, the Annville-Cleona FFA program takes a field trip to the Pennsylvania Farm Show, and this year, ACDN-TV was given the opportunity to go with the FFA on their trip. So Rourke, why does the FFA come to the farm show every year?
First of all, the FFA comes to the farm show for the amazing food. We come to walk around and see all the different exhibits and for the educational experiences, but most of all, I'm pretty sure we just enjoy the food.
Food isn't the only thing that the Dutchman FFA are at the farm show for. 7th grader Dalton Grumbine, freshman Jaron Baumgardner, Dakota Grumbine, Reagan Sellers, and Elena Harrell, along with juniors Harper Sellers, Rourke Miller, and Cole Yutz, all showed animals in the various arenas. I caught up with a few of them. So Cole, what animals do you show, and what do you have to do to prepare for this?
I showed a sheep at the farm show. The show is on Sunday, so we had to come in on Friday and get all of our animals situated and everything. And I've had the sheep since August, so it's feeding and watering and working with them every day.
I show dairy animals, which is on Friday. We just work with the animals, walking them around and feed and water and clip them to make them look pretty.
Thank you. I'm here with Renata. What is your favorite part about the farm show, sweetie?
A pig.
Who doesn't like bacon? Every year, there is always a long list of things to do at the farm show, but year after year, one thing always tops the list no matter what: the butter sculpture. The butter was donated by the Land O'Lakes of Carlisle, and the 2017 sculpture's theme was environmental stewardship, honoring farmers' constant efforts to try to keep the environment as clean as possible. The sculpture depicted a landscape of a farm with a miniature barn, trees, hay bales, and a waterfall. The husband and wife team that worked on it have been doing this for years, and they actually ran out of butter after 1,000 pounds through and had to get more. Farm Show Executive Director Sharon Otland explains how the butter sculpture comes about being made.
Okay, so every year, several months prior to the farm show, there's a committee that gets together with the Dairymen's Association. They are actually the group that's responsible for creating the butter sculpture. So the group gets together, they come up with a plan as to what the theme of the butter sculpture would be. We have a sculptor who's been the sculptor for I think about 10 years now. And once the theme's decided, they give it to them and let them get creative with exactly what the design's going to look like. It takes approximately 2 weeks. So what happens is the refrigeration unit comes in. We have it actually shipped in. We have it stored someplace else. It comes in. They set it up. The sculptors go inside. There's blinds that get pulled. The butter gets placed into the sculpture or into the refrigerated unit. The sculptor goes in there and sculpts for about 2 weeks, and then we do the butter sculpture unveiling the Thursday prior to farm show annually.
All right, thank you very much. All right, so as you guys can see with the sculpture behind me, they did get all the butter that they needed, but the over 1,000 pounds of butter will not go to waste. This will all be shipped and transported to a dairy farm in Carlisle County, where this will all be recycled and converted into energy. Signing off for ACDN TV, I'm Dom McMillan.
Selfies might now be a threat to your privacy. Recent news reports show that hackers can now copy someone's fingerprint from a selfie. With iPhones and other phones using fingerprints to unlock phones, hackers can copy fingerprints from being in pictures up to 10 feet away. Even worse is the fact that advanced technology is not needed when cloning fingerprints. With all photos being stored online forever, these will have a gallery of fingerprints to choose from. So next time you throw up a peace sign in a selfie, keep in mind what you could be giving away.
In one of his last acts as president, Barack Obama used his executive power to commute or shorten the prison sentence of former Army soldier Chelsea Manning. This past Tuesday, Manning was convicted in 2013 of stealing and releasing 750,000 pages of confidential documents and videos to WikiLeaks. The documents contain classified information regarding the war in Iraq and was published by WikiLeaks back in 2010. Manning, who has since become a transgender woman, was originally sentenced to 35 years in an all-male prison in Kansas, but is now set to only serve 7 and will be released this upcoming May. This controversial decision received major backlash from the intelligence community. In other political news, unless you've been completely unplugged from the world, you know that as of today, Donald Trump will officially become the 45th President of the United States. ACDN-TV will have coverage of the entire inauguration in more depth next week, but many questions have been raised since his victory, since he won position through the Electoral College, even though he received roughly 3 million fewer votes than Hillary Clinton. What exactly is the Electoral College? James Lingle tackled this sometimes confusing topic to break it down.
I'm James Lingle with ACDN-TV. Today at 12 o'clock, Donald J. Trump will be sworn in as the 45th President of the United States. The 2016 presidential election was one for the ages, with plenty of controversy surrounding the Electoral College and whether it should still be used or not. But do AC students really know what the Electoral College is? Let's find out.
The Electoral College is people we elect to select our presidents and other politicians.
A system used to elect the next president.
Where you go to college if you want to get elected.
If you get the votes from one state, they all go to you.
Okay, the Electoral College, I assume, is just like a group who kind of votes like people do, and Trump won it.
Something to do with the number of votes in states.
What is the Electoral College? First things first, the Electoral College is a process, not a place. The Founding Fathers established it in the Constitution as a mixture between a popular vote and a Congress vote. The Electoral College consists of 538 votes, but a candidate only needs 270 to win the presidency. It may sound odd, but when a citizen votes for a candidate of their choice, they're actually voting for a member of the Electoral College who is expected, but not required to vote for their party. The 2016 presidential election has caused a lot of controversy within the Electoral College. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by over 3 million votes. This creates uncertainty due to the fact that the loser of the popular vote can still win the electoral vote. This year's electoral map is a sea of red, but the outcome of the election was won by a 74-point margin. That may seem like a lot, but some states that were won count for over 20 total votes, California having the most electoral votes with 55. This means a candidate can win the election without winning the majority of the states. Thus, Hillary Clinton making the race closer by winning states with more electoral votes. Hopefully you learned a little something about the Electoral College today. For ACDN-TV, I'm James Lingle.
The boys varsity basketball team is off to a strong start to their season. They currently hold a record of 10-5, picking up wins against rivals Elko and Northern Lebanon in the first half of the season. The team is being led by a mixture of strong play, but especially from senior captain Cameron Hoke and junior Noah Myers. So far, Noah has already attributed a total of 217 points this season, with an average of 14.7 points per game, and Hoke just behind him with 163 points, averaging 12.5. Coming up on Tuesday, the boys play at 7:30, with the theme being a pink out. Good luck the rest of the season, boys.
After a much more exciting divisional round of the NFL playoffs, we move on to the conference championships. Following 2 rounds of games, my record sits at 7-1, and I expect to improve on that this week. So without further ado, let's see who I've got moving on to the Super Bowl. Kicking off at 3:05 on Sunday, the 4.5-point underdog Green Bay Packers travel to Atlanta to take on potential MVP Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. As badly as I want to go with the Falcons' electrifying offense, it's hard to say no when the Packers have Aaron Rodgers making clutch throws like this one we saw last week during the upset of the Cowboys, which led to Mason Crosby's game-winning field goal.
They're also looking to play clock down to 3. Rodgers spins to his left. Comes underneath, and the pass is incomplete, out of bounds. Now they say complete. The official, the second one came in and overruled the other, Jared Cook, and with 3 seconds left, the Packers are going to have a chance to win it.
That is unbelievable.
Unbelievable. The first official came down the sideline and said incomplete. The official from behind the play said the catch was good, and he was right.
Wow, Jared Cook, he knows where he is, and he's able to keep his feet in.
Packers into the NFC Championship game. It is good! The Packers Steelers are moving on.
I expect Rodgers to stay hot and lead the pack to a 35-31 victory. In the AFC, the controversial Pittsburgh Steelers will head to Foxborough, Massachusetts to battle the genius Bill Belichick's New England Patriots. The Steelers have had a lot of attention from the media over the past week following an incident in which star wide receiver Antonio Brown decided to live stream head coach Mike Tomlin's locker room speech on Facebook after the team's victory over Kansas City.
Right? Keep it low profile. Let's get ready to ball like this up again here in a few days and be right back at it. Let's go. Hey, man, this is our story.
Hey, cool on social media, man. This is about us, nobody else, man.
Everybody know about social media.
Despite the negative backlash from the video, I still believe the Steelers' bend-don't-break defense will be able to keep Tom Brady and his deflated balls in check, just enough to allow Ben Roethlisberger to use a nice complement of Le'Veon Bell and big plays downfield to lead the Pittsburgh Steelers to an exuberating 27-24 victory. That's it for this week's slate of games. And remember, when you're sitting at home enjoying some chicken wings and a nice plate of buffalo chicken dip, don't forget.
Middle school students are reminded that their snowflake dance is next Friday from 7 to 9 p.m.
And the end of semester 2 comes to a close on Monday, so make sure to check your schedules for any changes made for the second semester. For ACDN TV, I'm Don McMillan.
And I'm Caitlin Brightbill.
And we are out of here.
That's right.